So Zack Snyder finally got to release his true vision of a movie that no one liked, a sequel to a movie that very few people liked, which was a sequel to a movie that was kinda half-liked, doubling fully down on being even more indulgent than Batman v Superman, stretching to a runtime of Jesus Christ, 4 hours? Zack, dude, why? Oh. So how is it? Uh? Is it better than the theatrical version? Sure. Zack Snyder stepped down from directorial duties after a family tragedy, and directing duties were handed to Joss Whedon, director of Avengers and Age of Ultron, to finish the movie and also cut it down to normal movie length. I've seen varying numbers on how much Snyder footage Whedon used, but having watched the Snyder Cut, I can say it was more than most people thought. In fact, there were a lot of scenes from the original that I thought must be Whedon additions that were apparently there the whole time. Probably what I considered the worst scene of the movie, where the rest of the league fight a revived Superman because Cyborg's programming reads him as a threat, is still there almost entirely. A lot of the Snyder versions of these scenes are overall better. Whedon's style has fallen out of favor as larger and larger projects have shown the limits of his screenwriting, and now with the recent scandals involved with his treatment of actors, including Ray Fisher on this project and going all the way back to at least his Buffy days, his geek god standing has definitely diminished. Stripping away all the "we are the same character with different voices" quip dialogue and removing Whedon's incredibly flat shot-for-TV framing and lighting definitely makes this a much more engaging watch. I haven't cared for the Snyderverse, as I generally think someone who has basically expressed nothing but disdain for traditional superheroes really shouldn't be making, Superman movies. Superman? The most traditional superhero? The guy who's literally all good and invincible? The guy who said he wanted Batman to get raped in prison is probably not the best one to make Superman movies. But all that said, I can't deny that Snyder has style. At first, I thought the 4:3 aspect ratio was an odd choice, but it adds such verticality to the movie that it really enhances the whole modern-day gods idea that Snyder has been pushing through all of these films. I guess I should start actually talking about the plot at some point, but it remains, in the broad strokes, unchanged, which means there's not a lot going on under the hood. Steppenwolf, played by Rome's Kieran Hines, arrives on Earth to conquer it for Darkseid and discovers it was the planet where Darkseid had his only defeat and lost a superweapon that consists of 3 mother boxes, devices that when brought together can change the nature of matter. He wants to get the 3 boxes and conquer the planet with them. The superheroes have to learn how to work together to stop him. It's a simple setup, basically the same as the original Avengers movie. It gets the job done. The difference that really improves this version is in the details. All the characters get much more extended character arcs and room to be people, sometimes a little too much. Ben Affleck's Batman probably has the least going on, but he really went through all his development in the last 5 minutes of Batman v Superman. Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman mostly serves as an exposition machine. Jason Momoa's Aquaman is the reluctant heavy hitter in a team with 2 people stronger than him. Ezra Miller's Flash serves as horribly awkward comic relief, and Henry Cavill's Superman is there once more to punch the bad guy really, really hard, and very little else. Ray Fisher's Cyborg has the most to do, with multiple extended flashbacks and the most direct relation to the main plot. Overall, these feel much more like actual people, and there are a lot of scenes that I really enjoy that might not really be necessary, but that make the movie a bit more fun, like Diana and Alfred making tea, Aquaman and Wonder Woman's heart-to-heart about their relationship to their people and their people's history. It adds more texture to the film as a whole. But where this film really excels is the action set pieces. The way Zack Snyder makes these characters move really captures the feeling that they are way beyond human. The difference is immediately noticeable in the scene where Wonder Woman stops terrorists. Every action scene has way more style and cool, memorable moments than in the original, and it all comes to a much better finale. In the theatrical cut, they very rarely actually work together as a team, but in this version, in both the underground subway sequence and the final sequence, the League actually feels a lot more like a unified unit. In the final battle, it actually feels like everyone is important, though it still suffers a bit from everyone else becoming almost irrelevant once Superman shows up, excluding one Flash sequence that is easily the best scene in the movie and one of the coolest ideas I've seen in any superhero movie, so I will not spoil it here. Overall, I can say this is the best Zack Snyder DC movie. If you enjoyed Man of Steel, this is better than that, so it'll probably work for you. For the average audience, I don't know. It's 4 hours, and it doesn't need to be. Honestly, I almost want a third cut where it maintains the feel of what Snyder wanted, but is maybe a bit more of a palatable watch. It would still probably be way too long, but this can get cut down to 2.5, 2 hours and 45 minutes easy. So there you go. It's a fine movie that's way too long. Don't watch it unless you really like superhero movies. 6 out of 10.